A very warm welcome to you, wherever you are watching from around the world, to stunning Hangzhou City here in Zhejiang Province. Once again, the venue for the biggest and most prestigious event on the badminton calendar for the year, the HSBC BWF World Tour Finals 2024, happening right here at the Hangzhou Olympic Sports Center. Only the biggest names playing in the biggest games for the title of the best of the best. And what an amazing arena for this finale. The Hangzhou Olympic Sports Center opened in 2018, and you can seat up to 80,000 people. That's what it's all about, the BWF World Tour Finals trophy. And it's what these pairs and players have been fighting for throughout the year, trying to amass enough ranking points to be here. This is the schedule for the week. Days 1 to 3, we'll see the group stages in all 5 disciplines. Then day 4, that'll be Saturday, we'll see the semi-finals kicking off at 9:30 a.m. before Sunday is the finals itself at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. 2 sessions for the opening days. This morning session will kick off at 9:30 in the morning, and the second stage for the group stage will be at just later on in the evening, just past 5 p.m. local time. So looking at the order of play here for session 1 on court 2, it's an all-Malaysian affair. The mixed doubles, Goh Soon Huat and Siobhan Lai taking on Chen and Toh Yi. That'll be followed by the women's singles. An Se-young back in action here in Hangzhou against Supanita Kaetong from Thailand. The mixed doubles will follow that. Tang Chun-man and Si Ying-Sweat, the #1 pair from Hong Kong, taking on Yang Po-Swan and Hu Ling-Fang from Chinese Taipei. Before Pearly Tan and Tina Moritan, the Malaysian women's doubles pair, taking on Nami Matsuyama and Chiharu Shida in what should be an absolutely cracking match. And that'll be followed by possibly the biggest match of session 1, Kodai Narioka taking on world champion Kunavit Vitisan in the men's singles. Then later on in the evening in session 2, that'll open with the women's doubles, Baekana and Lee So-hee against Kusuma and Pratiwi from Indonesia, Choten Chen against Lee Si-jia, Hei and Ren against Aaron Cha and So Woo-yik, Alfian Ardianto against Gutama and Isfahani in the all-Indonesian affair, and Lee and Yang taking on Lee and Wang from Chinese Taipei in the men's doubles. So looking at the 2 groups for the mixed doubles, well, there are no easy matches here at the World Tour Finals. And remember, the top 2 in each group will advance to the semi-finals. The bottom 2 will get eliminated. So it's important to get as many good wins as possible in the round-robin stage. So players making their way out onto the courts now. And it's all about the mixed doubles with that Group A match happening. Well, it's actually the other match in Group B, I should say. Dejan Ferdinandsha and Gloria Wijaja taking on Midori Kawa and Saito. And this is the match we're going to be watching on court 2. Goh Soon Huat and Siobhan Lai taking on Cheng Tang-ji and Toh Yi.
Court 2, mixed doubles. 来自马来西亚吴兴华、赖洁敏。Goh Soon Huat, Lai Siobhan Jemmy, Malaysia.
Well, they're looking focused for sure. And here come their opponents, Chen and TotalEnergies. So Group B matches in the mixed doubles draw happening at the same time to open proceedings here at the Hangzhou Olympic Sports Center. That is Paul Buffum, the umpire, and Shailesh Kulkarni, the service judge. On the head-to-head, it's a 3-2 slender lead for Go Soon Hwa, Siobhan Lai.
Black? Black. Red
And
for you.
Very, very happy to
Black it is.
introduce
Service.
Bobby Griffin, who's joining me in the commentary box once again. Bobby, good to have you here again.
Thank you, Jeevan. Absolute privilege to be here. I mean, other than the major events like the Olympics we saw this summer, it really doesn't get any bigger than this. And that group stage aspect of this, a lot like the Olympic Games, really does separate the best from the rest. World Tour finals, I mean, what an epic we've got to start as well, such an even match.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It was going to be Group A on court 1 and Group B on court 2, but it's actually both Group B matches happening at the same time. So we're going to see the evolution of Group B on this morning session on day 1 already. Now, with these two Malaysian pairs, it's experience versus the newbies, really. Well, not, I hate to say the newbies, but as we look at them, Go Soon Hwa and Siobhan Lai have been in the game for quite a while now, and they're regulars on the World Tour circuit. And they've been playing very, very well recently.
They've been phenomenal lately. I mean, Go Soon Hwa's 34 years old now. His partner's 31. They've been around the block. This is their 6th meeting in 18 months, and all of those previous meetings are quarter-final stages or better, semi-finals and finals. I mean, they really know what it's like to play against each other from the same country and in the latter stages. So this really will set the tone for their week today, and you can't afford a mistake.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with the World Tour finals. As I said earlier, there are no easy matches. If they are going to advance from Group B, then they're going to have to win against, well, looking at Group A and Group B, while we've got some time here as we look at Siobhan Lai, who's 31 years old now, it is the slightly easier group as Zheng Shiwei and Huang Yashong, the defending champions, aren't in this group. They're in Group A.
Well, yes, I mean, we're all looking at the retirement prospect of Zheng Shiwei coming up. They haven't been playing much since the Olympic Games. To take that 3rd spot and supplant their teammates to get in is great for the fans. It's disappointing for the other Chinese pair that didn't make it through, but it's what we all want to see. Is there an easier group? It's hard to say because it depends who's in form or not. We're looking at the top 8 in the world. There are no easy matches. But you're probably right. You'd probably not want to face those two tough Chinese pairs in Group A.
Well, things are moving swiftly. Court 1 is just about to get underway as we look at TotalEnergies. And very much is a changing of the guard you could almost look at in terms of Malaysian doubles. Malaysian doubles now peaking quite nicely. TotalEnergies and Chen Tangji have been definitely the highlights to watch this year.
There's a lot resting on the shoulders of TotalEnergies today. She's such a flamboyant, creative player. If she's on form, if she's getting her shots right, they'll be very difficult to beat, even though Go and Lai are the very slight favourites for this match. It
is in terms of their attack, I think with Chen and To, it's been incisive and it's fast, and if they are together and if they have got that solidarity, then they're very hard to beat.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Chen Tangji and TotalEnergies, Malaysia. And on my left, Go Soon Huat and Lai Siobhan Jamie, Malaysia. Go Soon Huat serve to Toe EY.
3-1.
Get underway.
2-3.
To Chen Ji, low all. Play. One love.
Well, I think we were talking earlier, Bobby, about how nervous it must be for some of these pairs to be the first pairs out on day one.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't a great serve in the opening rally, and it was an even worse return, wasn't it? That's a bit better.
Well, it is going to take them a few shots to get into their rhythm.
I'm really interested to see how this change of environment's going to, you know, provide us for what's going to unfold over the next couple of days. Day one, new arena for the World Tour Finals. It's always difficult playing, even for these top players in these huge, massive arenas. Drift conditions, the temperatures. It's very wet and cold here in China right now.
That's what I was going to ask, because it is day one. They've had their training, of course. They've had their warm-up over the last couple of days. But it is slightly cooler here in Hangzhou, so it'll be slower playing conditions, probably more conducive to rallies.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I mean, terrific arena. Near perfect playing environment from what we've been able to see watching the players and pairs warm up over the last couple of days.
Drift-wise.
Yeah, there's not doesn't seem to have been so much, at least yesterday when we were watching the players play on court. We were looking at the Indonesians and the singles players in particular, trying to find those far corners with their coaches, and it looks quite comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, early points falling to Go and Lai, who have now got themselves a slender 2-point lead. 4-2. Just out there.
Service over. 3-4.
It's a poor miss by her standards, the left-hander.
Once again, it is just a little bit patchy right now.
5-3.
That's a nice touch in there by Siobhan Lai. And that's the thing with these two Malaysian pairs, because they both are going to know each other's games so well.
Yeah, they are, and there's so much emphasis on those first three shots. You see how many of the rallies are being forced in and around the forecourt and mid-court. They don't want to give away that lift, because Chen and Go, big hitters, lots of angles. It's going to be very much about the forecourt players. Lai and Toe are really going to go at it.
Keeping it nice and flat around the net area, those flat exchanges, because you're right, Go Soon Huat, that is his big weapon. Chen Tangji also the big hitter from backcourt.
8-5.
Shift of roles there. Siobhan Lai was doing all the backcourt attacks.
It's an easy option for Chen and Toe, though. If they're going to lift, try and force Siobhan to the back. Look how comfortable Toe Wei looked in defense.
Yeah.
9-5.
Brilliant rally.
Much better rally, yeah. So finding a little bit more service there.
6-9.
Well, they've done enough to maintain that 2-point lead as we rapidly approach the mid-game interval.
That's what she does so well, Toe Wei. That interception, she read the play She's there so early, and it's very easy to sort of overhit that kind of shot. Make a mistake, hit too hard, and get yourself in trouble. She's very calm with the racket after she's moved fast, which is it's a real difficult skill.
She does get around court very, very quickly. Nice touch in there.
Service over, 8-6.
Well, for Go and Siobhan, it was wins at the Malaysia Masters and Swiss Open at the Super 500, Super 300 level, plus a great performance at the China Open, Super 1000, runner-up there. Also semi-finalists at the Arctic Open and the Japan Masters, and that's essentially what qualified them for these World Tour finals. For Chen Tangji and Toei Wei, it was a win at the Korea Open, 500 level. Runner-up at the Thailand Masters Swiss Open at the 300 level, and semi-finalists at the China Masters and the Hong Kong Open.
Service over, 10-7.
Both Lai and Toe so far in great shape. I mean, they're just picking their spots on the court, just finding that space.
Chen Tangji with a little bit of service, but 11-7 at the break. So far, so good for Go and Lai.
It's the first time I've seen Chen Tangji without the creative haircut. The bright colours, the pinks, the oranges.
That's right.
All business this week, perhaps.
Lari cepat-cepat di tangan dia terus, ya dua-duanya ini, hanya itu aja, ya turun lagi kalau nggak buka dulu nggak apa-apa, belakang nggak usah pakai, sini ya banyak kontrol aja, dan jangan takut, yang penting kontrolnya di bawahnya, ya sini jangan buru-buru cross, buka dulu nggak apa-apa, cross atau kalau
20 seconds, call 20 seconds.
考虑点哪里哪里自己还有，因为有时候到卡那个球不能。
So back on court for the conclusion of game one. As you said, Bobby, all business, because that's what it is this week.
Well, huge amounts at stake, the ranking points and the prize money. I mean, the prize pot.
$2.5 million is the total prize pot for the World Tour Finals. But you're right, there is, in terms of ranking points, well, even if you finish 4th in the group, you're still getting roughly 8,000 points.
That's a great shot. Yeah, it's massive to qualify to get here, and so important to get through as well. I mean,
well, Chen Tangji and Toei Wei, of course, last year finished 4th in Group A. Go and Siobhan weren't part of the qualifiers for the 2023 edition, also here in Hangzhou.
13-7.
They've come out firing.
yeah, a good example here of what they've done so well lately. Although they're getting towards the end of their careers, Go and Lai, she seems to have added an extra sort of facet to her game, that anticipation, just like that.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example there. She's looking one way with the forehand, the left-hander, taking it as early as she can, and the benefit you can get from staying on top of the rally in that way.
And intercepting.
Yes, it makes Go's job so much easier as well.
Oh, that's
it's in.
Well, that's in. Certainly looked in.
Challenges called in.
So, first challenge of the day.
It was a quick call from the line judge, which normally suggests it was a confident call and therefore probably in, but Chen Tangji was really quick to challenge.
Well, they do need this. They need something in this first game. That is very much in. It's as in as it's going to get.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining.
So right now, Chen and To just not being able to get into the rallies because Go and Lai are almost overpowering them.
It was a similar opening game the last time they met, the quarter-final of the Korean Open. Go and Lai coming through in straight games on that occasion. And being, whilst we talk in sport about form being temporary and, you know, class is permanent, the World Tour Finals is very much about whether you're in form or not.
That's right.
We've seen results in the past where players across all disciplines have come through to win the World Tour Finals who perhaps weren't tipped to do that.
Yeah, but it was just that run. I said their run, Go and Siobhan, they were third at the Kumamoto Masters and the Arctic Open. Second at the China Open, as I said, and also quarterfinalists in Hong Kong and Korea. So it's been a good run for them in the second half of the season. Oh, just wide. Just wide, yeah.
But you're right, I mean, they've won 2 titles this year. Go and Lai. Their previous was 2018.
Yeah,
Six years ago.
They had an absolutely torrid run for a while, and were even contemplating the future, their very future in the sport, but then turned it round midway through this year. And as I said, I've seen them play some incredible badminton since then.
They got married in May. I wonder whether...
that stability,
yeah, you know, there's clearly chemistry on and off court, therefore, and...
well, you know, they've actually been very open about the future, because a lot of the press have come up to them and asked, what are you going to do now that you're married? But they said, we're just going to keep playing until we stop, until we can't play anymore. But you're right, they've become a lot more complete in terms of a unit. And as it's proved by the scoreline here, 18-10, Chen and To pretty much bamboozled so far.
She's having a great game. Siobhan Jemmy Lai on serve.
It's gone wide off Toiwi. So this first game very much looking like it's falling towards the pair of Go and Lai. Well, finally, Chen Tang-ji gets something to work with. Came back a little bit too high.
11-19.
It's a great defense. I don't think anybody expected Toei Wei's forehand kill to come back.
So a chance for Chen and To. So that was a nice bit of vision from Chen Tang-ji.
12-19.
Both the male players here in that rally, very patient. It's a good sign, that composure, you know, day one, match one.
Yeah, they're certainly not going all out in terms of the big hits, picking their spots. Nice play by Toiwi.
13-19.
Have they got enough to claw back this deficit at a late stage in game one?
14-19.
Well, that was
over. 20
very costly for Toiwi.
14.
6 game points.
Yeah, they'll be paying the price for allowing Siobhan to hit through them, and that's the end.
21-14 in the first.
First game won by Go Soon Hwat and Lai Siobhan 21-14.
Tapi kontrol terus. Dan kalau main terlalu keras panjang-panjang kena terus, dari disiplikannya kena terus kamu. Main aja gedenya nggak apa-apa. Kalau nggak naik dulu, bulan naik, kontrol dulu. Ya di sini sering banget ya. push. Ya, depan kan kalau dari servis biarin cari, nggak apa-apa. Ya, ingat tuh, kadang-kadang dipancing tuh ya, dipancing-pancing jangan ambil. Kamu pancing sana, ambil tuh. Kalau kamu pancing dari tadi, ya, lihat sini, kadang-kadang biasa. Ini saya sudah telepon. Kalau apa gitu lagi, ya, yang penting siap lagi. Misal salah, kamu harus siap lagi, maaf. Sekali 2 kali jangan banyak kaki. Ya, pokoknya bola turun dulu aja di speed. Kalau kalian kita ragu-ragu aja. Ya, harus sampai keras. Nah, ini bola agak angin sedikit. Efek lebih enak di sini.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
So back on court for game 2, and this is where things get very interesting. Of course, as Go and Lai now have that confidence
Second game.
to
Love all.
open up their play a little bit.
Play.
And all eyes, and of course the pressure on Chen and To. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Quick, incisive play from Siobhan Lai. Very careful stuff from all 4 players on court.
Service over. 1-all.
上面啊。
That was good vision there from Toiwi.
2-1.
Yeah, great anticipation. Important to stop those runs of points. I mean, we saw both pairs in the first game get between 4 and 6 points each at times.
Yeah. Well, just an update on what's happening on court 1, which is the other match in Group B, and that has gone to extra points in the first game. 20 all right now between Ujaja and Ferdinandsha and Midorikawa and Saito.
Service over. 3-2.
And much closer here on court 2 for game 2, as expected. But as I said, all eyes on the younger pair of Chen and To. They're the ones that have to make something happen. Right now pushing forward quite well.
4-2.
That little bit of pace, again in the mid-court. Just getting the better of Go Soon-Hwat.
It has been a very tight, as you said, very tight match around the net. That's well left by Chen Tangji.
5-2.
That's well played.
Really well positioned and placed.
6-2.
So a change of ends seems to have done them the world of good. This their biggest lead so far, Chen and To.
Out.
But that run of points comes to an end
3-6.
with a short serve. Ooh, just snatched at
Service
that.
over.
It was a good change-up with the flick serve.
3.
Yeah, well read, anticipated, just couldn't find the final product.
Well, as you can hear on the public address system, TotalEnergies with Georgia stole that first game on court 1. 23-21. Wonderful atmosphere having both Group B matches playing at the same time. And the Hangzhou Olympic Center already filling up with fans early on. Just gone past 10 o'clock in the morning, local time.
Good block.
Oh, very nice rally.
Service over.
Chen and To doing really well to turn that around from a defensive position. But again, like we saw before, just squandering that final shot.
They have been a little bit nervous on that final killing shot, both of them. So 8-4 up here in the second.
Not a good serve.
And nicely finished off by
Service over.
Chen.
9-4.
That's a bit high. Well, they were targeting Gosun Hwan. In the end, it all got a bit too much for him. So as we approach the second mid-game interval, much better from Chen and To.
Yeah, really good here from To Wei. Just stepping back to intercept that drive and then pushing back to the net to keep the pressure on Go.
Second game, double play.
That's a better flick serve.
11-4.
So 11-4 at the break. And things getting very interesting here.
You can see how Gosun Hwan was really not expecting that drive serve.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
Back on court. The resumption and conclusion of game 2. So far, good comeback from this pair right here, Chen and To.
11-4. Play. Service over. 5-11.
Good start from Siobhan Lai there just to win the serve back.
Well played.
Oh, what a fantastic return. All hands on deck at the moment.
Brilliant rally.
Well, how about
It
that?
stayed in.
Oh, it's drifted in somehow.
That was superb.
Certainly rally of the match so far, but talk about a defensive exhibition.
12-5.
This one through the legs. Brilliant from Gosun Hwan. That was going out by about
Really-
6 inches, and
really
it
did
sort
look-
of drifted back
Yeah,
in court.
Yeah, it bent back in. So 12-5.
Play.
You can't fault Go Sun Hwan for leaving that at all. A very impressive defense from them. That's gone long.
Service over. 6-12.
Well, it's good to know that these two Malaysian pairs are showing each other an equal amount of respect. There are times when Chen and To just maraud forward
13.
and try and steamroll their opponents, but they look to be a little bit more cautious this time.
Yeah, they do actually. From the very start, To Wei here, you often see her sort of trying ambitious shots, being very creative. She's a lot more sort of orthodox, simple, trying to take the shuttle early today. She's just playing the basics as well as she possibly can, rather than relying on those racket skills. And I think you're absolutely right. It's a sign of respect to their opponents.
Because they just know that they can't overcommit, because if they do, might just be staring down the barrel. This second game, though, going very well for them. 7-point lead. Just getting into the business end of it.
Feels like the momentum is with Go Online. The scoreline doesn't suggest that, but the big lead that To and Chen had at the start. It just slowly, well played.
Very slowly, yeah. I know what you mean.
Being chipped away. This is great from Chen.
15.
Pushing forwards, driving himself forwards, keeping that pressure on Siobhan. It's easy sometimes as the male player in a mixed doubles pair to sort of lay that shuttle off and move back, hope that your partner will step in and put some pressure on, and you just worry about the rear court. But if you do that, it almost becomes a bit easier to defend.
Yeah.
So I like that from him there. He sort of took a chance and pushed himself forward.
Ready.
15-8.
Service over. 16-8.
Well, if you haven't got your racket up, you might just take one in the face.
Well, it certainly does look like we're going to be moving to a third game here, at this rate anyway. Well, she couldn't take any chances, Siobhan Lai, based on that last shuttle that landed in, but pushed that long.
Out. Service over. 9-7.
Certainly not 100% on services.
First time I think we've seen that from To Wei, just allowing her default creativity to sort of overtake the game plan a little bit. They have got that healthy lead. She can afford to do that at this stage. I want to make sure, or she'll want to make sure, she just retains it throughout the likely third and deciding game we're going to see.
Well, that happens on so many occasions, doesn't it? When you put so much into those first two games, that third game, all sorts of factors of fatigue or, you know, just as you said, just general momentum start coming into play. And it certainly looks like we're heading that way now. 19-9.
Chen Tengji challenges called in.
Well, I thought that was a great shot from Siobhan Lai. Both of these two quick to challenge.
Well, they're really getting stuck into it now, both pairs.
Oh, it's gone wide.
It's gone very
Correction. Out.
Great idea, just couldn't pull it in. So,
20.
11 game points.
9. Play.
At the rate they've been going, I can't see them needing more than 1 or 2.
Service over. 10-20.
Oh, wonderful varying play from Kanji, who again steps forward, gets the point, and it's 21-10 in the second.
Second game won by Chen.
Good rally again there, using the slice to set up the attack. A well-placed smash to finish. Really did turn the tables that second game. Chen and To, of course, are going to end the match on that side of the court as well, which might prove critical.
Change of ends, middle of the third.
然后你只要注意航拐，然后如果出长的话，它这一球一出长还一定拐，它拐的时候我们这一球被动的时候，有些时候不能给这样。但是这个东西，当你一跳的时候，一出长的时候，一打直接走，直接走。我们总分辨太多了，我们一直在分辨，因为他们一直在一起，因为我们的球是会出比较长，所以这样我们要盖，我们比较总出很长，啪啪骗啪骗这个东西。 但是就是讲，你刚开始也要跟着 ，OK， 然后发球有没有手？很多，要看一下，然后解发的时候，不一定上去，事实上他插入了，我部分不要做跟，长切的话，长切但是板头的球是很快过来的，他为什么来说？Kalau ini tim satu kan kakak satu langsung diucapkan. Ya.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
So here we go. The showdown, game 3, the decider. Of course, in any other tournament this season, this really would be a decider, but they do have a chance with this round-robin format for Group B. It's not going to be the end of the world if they lose. And of course, it's classified by points for and points against as well, so consistently good performance will still mean they could take something away from this match, regardless of a win or a loss. Of course, ideally in a round-robin stage, you'd want 3 wins in a row against your peers in the group. Again, as you said, probably a bit too creative from Toiwi.
1-all.
Great idea, just push that way too wide.
Service over. 2-1.
And they are absolutely
3-1.
loving it right now, Chen and To. Speeding up their play a little. Early lead for them in the third, 3-1 up.
I like the performance from both pairs so far. I mean, even if they lose, well, I mean, one of these pairs is going to lose this match, but even if they lose,
they're in good stead for the group, yeah.
I mean, Ferdinand and Rajaya are, you know, they're both of these Malaysian pairs will feel that one's beatable.
Even Midorikawa and Saito, actually.
Absolutely.
They've met plenty of times on the World Tour circuit. Always have come up with some good results. That goes back to what we were saying at the start. That's why it's probably very good for them that the likes of Zhang Zhenbang and Wei Yazin and Zheng Xiwei and Huang Yasheng aren't in this group.
Yeah.
Because they would be very tough matches.
Service over.
And conversely, of course, it means that there is a huge match in Group A coming up between those two Chinese pairs. Don't miss any of it. As we said, 2 sessions a day for the first 3 days of this 5-day tournament. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning and afternoon, or morning and evening sessions, I should say.
Wait. 2-4.
Left.
Going live, been under some real pressure, serving to
5-2.
Chen Tangji. We saw earlier both of these two were flick serving him at times, so just a sign that they trying to get him away from that attacking dominant position. That return of serve from him is really causing them problems.
Well, they're keeping it closer this time. Third.
3-5.
Remember, there is going to be that change of ends for the mid-game interval. Right now, just 2 points between them. Great pickup by Gosen.
Oh, well left.
Almost in the corner, almost.
Toei Wei here set up her own play and nearly finished it off. I find it's nicer to hit a winner than to leave the shuttle from your opponents to go out. You know, it's that rewarding feeling.
Well, errors or winners, either of them. In the end, it's all about points. But I see what you mean, yeah.
Well played.
There's that dominating feeling of winning the point yourself.
7-3.
And the same feeling here for Chen Tangji. Every shot he played in this rally was technically difficult. Just that change of angle, that hold. You can only do that when you're feeling really confident.
Happy with that. So they're 7-3 up now. Again.
There's another one.
A wonderful backhand.
Yeah, it's a great example of what we looked at in the previous rally. He could just wait to see where his opponents are going to go and then change the angle at the last second, inject that pace with the wrist.
Service over.
Well, this is an important service for Golden Light. They certainly don't want to go further back. If they keep it close enough, as they change ends, it's beginning to look like that top end furthest away from you on the screen is the better side of the court.
Goes to what challenges called in.
Another good challenge.
Yeah.
Correction, out. Five,
Successful
8.
challenge there. Service back.
Play.
Now just 3 points behind.
How many successful challenges is that? It's got to be 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's unusually high.
They've been pretty good. Had a good eye for this.
6, 8.
Oh dear.
Under
Service
no
over.
pressure whatsoever.
9, 6.
Just clips the top of the net.
Yeah, did all the hard work previously.
There's that look at the lights. That's what usually happens. There you go.
Toe. Ready.
Well, I wonder if that's going to be a turning point. Could have been 8-7.
Bolt.
What a backhand.
Great backhand. His backhand has been on fire so far in this third game.
Clever play, good defense from Toei Wei.
11-6.
And they go in
Interval.
ahead at the break.
Change ends.
Just heard it there from umpire Paul Buffum. Change of ends coming.
It's a really good turnaround in the rally for Chen and To. And they're moving on to that side of the court where they looked quite dominant in the second game.
中路牌一来，就是我们要打，希望我们要逼问他3次，我们可以直接先打。现在他的
Call 2, 20 seconds. Call 2, 20 seconds. Coaches.
So this is it. Crunch time. Game 3, part 2.
11-6. Light. Ready.
40 minutes they've been on court so far. Very, very nice shot.
Terrific shot cross court. Again, the backhand side from Chen Tangji.
12-6.
Yeah, that's what's really turned this match on its head, is his backhand. I think that's certainly something that Go and Lai were just not expecting. Well,
13-6.
not the ideal start for them. Go and Lai, second part of game 3. And lead just getting bigger. 7 points now.
Brilliant.
Chen Tangji again. The difference between the pairs, possibly the most important player on the court right now of all 4.
Yeah, I mean, his partner played her part.
Setup, yeah.
As well. That speed of movement and anticipation. But again, Chen had to do a lot. He had to get across the court quickly and then change the angle back across his opponents.
Service over.
That was a nice drop into front court.
White court,
Alright,
please.
go soon. What?
Yeah, good touch.
Thank you. Ready.
Another delicate exchange around the neck. That's been pushed long.
Service over.
So time running out for Go and Lai.
7.
That felt to me like a kind of admission of defeat, almost.
Yeah, well, it's beginning to seep in, that resignation of perhaps things are not going their way.
Yeah. Go Sun Wat had played a lovely little touch to keep the attack, and then he gets his chance and misses.
This time a little bit more accurate. Bit of power on that as well.
Husband and wife pair with plenty to talk about, as you can see between the points. That's a nice shot.
We have had a constant discussion, it's true, as to what's going on. But it has been a fascinating opening match in Group B for these two. Again,
Overconfidence, I think.
9-15.
trying to be too flamboyant. That's it. It was just a bit too creative. And I think for the first two games, she would have played a different shot. She would have played, as you said, the classic word, orthodox. They would have been a bit more orthodox. That one was too creative and left it too light. And they do have this buffer, so you can understand her trying to do it.
16.
Yeah, I mean, it's one for social media, isn't it? Had it come off,
Oh, yeah.
she would have looked
Yeah.
like an absolute genius.
Yes, that's right.
Siobhan was going the wrong way. It would have been great. But
As a sporting moment, it had all the composure of it, yeah, the composition.
the whole point of that creativity in badminton is there's a lot higher risk.
Yeah,
Service
potential
over.
of it. And right now,
16.
service back at 10-16. Well, this is, all the services are important, but this one crucial for Go and Light.
Ready.
They take a couple of points off this, it's going to put a different complexion on the game.
And again, chances missed.
Service over.
And
17.
when you're that confident, which I feel like Chen and To are, they're not missing those kind of shots. That was
Yeah.
loose from Chen, and yet Lai can't put it away.
So very slowly but surely, even with this wonderful power coming from Go Seung-hwan at the back, still
Service over. 11-17.
a lot of work to do.
That's good defense here from Chen, whipping this next one cross-court straight up the line. But what a backhand. To Wei shouldn't really miss that, though.
Ready.
Good half rotation there. Husband and wife pair. And again, short
Service over.
and just rushed by Siobhan Lai.
18-11.
So very slowly creeping towards the victory, Chen and To.
Very few of those types of shots and types of rallies missed by Go and Lai in the opening game.
Yeah.
The one where they were so
Yeah.
dominant. But as it's
Certainly
evolved,
changed.
yeah, they just seem to have dropped in confidence levels. That's lovely. What a shot. Clever from Chen. Punch clear, cross
19-11.
court. That's the kind of creativity where their opponents really just weren't expecting the shot at all.
So 19-11, and it could be this serve that sees them notch up their first win in Group B. Great shot from Chen Tang-ji. Siobhan Lai now intercepting again. That last shot there very much
19.
like the one she was playing in the first game. Steps in.
I think taking the pace off the shuttle is a good tactic for these two, for Go and Lai. They're losing that flat exchange in the mid-court, the driving rally.
Yeah, might be time to get a little bit bigger. Left.
13-19. Play. Play.
A lot more patience again this rally.
This is certainly one of the more developed rallies that we've seen.
Oh,
in
lovely
the end,
touch.
lovely touch, yeah. Well, they're still fighting for it.
No luck involved in this block to the net. Takes the net cord. No chance for To Wei. Brilliant skill from Lai.
Well, it always does just come down to those tiny, tiny changes in pace, direction. And Siobhan Lai was on top of it. Toei Wei on court pointing out some moisture, I think. 14-19, certainly not beyond their capabilities, but they're going to need a good run. At least 2 or 3 points right now.
14-19. Play.
Well, while this is happening, I can tell you,
Out.
that's not the start that they wanted at all.
Service over. 20,
Facing a game
match
point and serving
14.
wide.
Yeah.
That is
Now,
not,
this is match point now, 6 of them.
yeah, not what they want, not what they needed here.
So it's out and they've done it. 21-14 in the third. Great fight back from Chen Tangji and Toei Wei.
They were just growing in confidence throughout that match.
They didn't take that first game loss at all and pushed back some great backhands from Chen Tangji, as we
Match won
saw.
by Chen Tangji and Toei Wei. 14-21, 21-10, 21-14.
And as we said, not all is not lost for Go and Lai in this round-robin format. They're going to need, of course, great performances against Ferdinand Chen and Wijaja, who, by the way, are 11-1 up in the third against Midorikawa and Saito. Right now on group, there's confirmation of this score, 14-21, 21-10, 21-14. And Chen Tangji and Toei Wei are currently topping Group B. Still plenty of action on the way, and up next it is the world #1 An Se-young taking on Super Nida Keito. Don't go anywhere, it's women's singles coming up next. Welcome back to Hangzhou. Beautiful, wonderful city for this World Tour Finals event at the end of the year. And that's now match 2 on court 2 in session 1 of day 1. Women's singles, An Se-young back in action